Hey guys, Keith here. Making this video for the release of 2017.24 because it's really important that if you're upgrading to 2017.24, you understand that if your sequences contain any value curves and you save them in 2017.24, then you cannot go back and open your sequence and edit it in a prior version of Xlights. There are some changes in 2017.24 that fundamentally change the way we save value curves. And if you go back prior to now, there's a fair chance they'll load, but you'll get some very, very odd behavior. And it may stuff your sequence up. So strongly recommend that if you're going into 2017.24, that you go in, you open your sequences which have your value curves, you render all, check that you're happy with them, that they're all okay before you save it, because once you save it, there is no going back. So I want to emphasize that before I talk about exactly what we've changed. So there's been a couple of problems with value curves. One is that they've always had a limited scale between 0 and 100. And if you had a value that you were trying to control that had a much broader range of that, and there's nothing more obvious than the DMX effect where that was true, you could only set values between 0 and 100, and that was extremely constraining if you really needed a very precise control over the value. So now we've changed it, so the scale here is shown as the true scale, and the sliders here actually go all the way up to the true set of values. You can also come down here and use your curves as usual, and they should automatically scale from previous ones that you've saved. So everything hopefully will be okay. So that's the first reason we've done it. The other reason we've done it is one of the side effects of this has been, and I just let me go and grab something like spirals here. One of the side effects of having these scales here is that if you had a curve that historically was going from, in the past, 0 to 100, representing a scale of 1 to 5, and I had wanted to go in here and increase the number of palette repetitions from not just to 5, but maybe 10 or 20, as the number of pixel counts that people are getting on their matrices are going very high, this is starting to become a constraint. But the problem is if I make this range 10 and I leave the value curve as going from 0 to 100, then the number of repetitions is going to go from 1 to 10 instead of from 1 to 5. And that's obviously not ideal. It would change the way your effects looked. And so we had to do a whole bunch of work when we load the sequence to go and look at each one of these and adjust the curves so that the slope would come down to a lower value if we wanted to go and change. And I do need to change some of these value ranges. So by making this change to Xlights, we're able to now do that quite safely without having to worry that we're going to screw a whole bunch of people's sequences up. And in this particular version, I've actually done that with the bars effect. The palette repetitions now goes up to 50, and I think it was 10 or something before, or 20. It was a much smaller range, and the cycles also goes up to 50. And again, that used to be a much smaller range, and hopefully that works for you, doesn't cause any problems and so forth. So something to be really wary of if you upgrade. Try it out. Look, if you're not using value curves, there's really no risk in this upgrade. It's just like any normal beta. If you happen to use value curves, come into it, do a render all, check that everything still looks okay. If you're happy with it, you're probably good to go. If you're not happy with it, please record a video, show us what's not quite the way it was in the past, and we'll endeavour to get it fixed in the next release or two and get ourselves back into a beta and possibly very soon a production release for those that like to lock in a version prior to Christmas. So thanks for watching the video, guys. I appreciate it. We'll try and get you through this change without causing too much drama. Thanks.